Welcome to the Global Connection at Tel Aviv University podcast. Journey with us as we discover how TAU's academic community and friends are engaging with and helping to shape this ever-changing world. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Global Connection. I'm your host, Dr. Anna Sajecki, and today I am welcoming two recent alum of the Sofaer Global MBA program here at Tel Aviv University. Facundo Pereminksy is from Buenos Aires in Argentina. He has an undergraduate degree in business administration and spent some years working in project management before deciding to join the MBA program here. And we have Joseph Kababie from Mexico City. He also has a bachelor's degree in business administration and worked in the real estate sector in Mexico before coming here to TAU. So welcome to both of you. I'm glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Thanks, Anna. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, we'll never miss an opportunity to come to campus again. Thank you.
Now that you're graduated, I know I'm going to have to find different ways to keep bringing you back. Yeah. So I think I'm going to start off with a question because Buenos Aires has 50 million people. Mexico City has close to 9 million people. I feel like Tel Aviv's population isn't quite that. It's a little bit smaller. So I'm wondering if you could begin by talking about sort of the transition to moving here and what your experience has been so far. You've been here for about a year, would you say?
Yeah, give or take.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So how do you find moving to Tel Aviv in Israel?
Well, it was interesting, when I just arrived, I crashed with a friend. So I began by exploring the city, and like you said, the size of the city is much different, right? But I think what characterizes Tel Aviv is the vibe. The vibe is much different, and also something that is not to be taken lightly is the beach. That to me was a game changer. Buenos Aires doesn't have a beach on its own, but the difference here was to me staggering. Like just the possibility just to go to the beach and relax, especially in October where the weather wasn't as hot as now, was to me something amazing. So to adapt, I think it was quite easy to Tel Aviv city.
Okay, give me a beach and I'm happy. That's what I'm hearing from you. Yeah.
Yeah, I think what was very special to us is the people and the vibe. There is people from all over the world. You hear so many languages going around, people from Latin America, Asia, Europe, combining and mingling and meeting each other. And
Okay, so was that surprising for you? You found it much more global than you...
Much more.
Yeah.
And there's a sport in every corner. You can play whatever you want. It's
Okay. So do you have a sport that you play?
I used to play soccer. I had a very bad knee injury, so I'm transitioning to fuchivoli. That's like the soccer on the beach. And
Okay. Bringing them together then, right? Anything you can do on the beach. Very cool. So do you notice, are there similarities at all between Mexico City, between Buenos Aires and with Tel Aviv?
Yeah, I would say that I would say in three countries, but between Argentina and Israel, they're very passionate. People are really passionate, really warm. That's something that I really valued. There's also this thing about chutzpah that in the first weeks of the program we have mentioned, like bombarded a lot about it, and actually I could relate, because Argentinians, I think in Latin culture as well, chutzpah, or the thing of just being decisive and try to go for things, like to be a go-getter, is something that is quite similar. So that was something interesting.
Okay, very cool.
yeah, and I would say that at least in the Latin culture, we're very close to our family. So our family is not being here. We started creating our own family with friends and having like these Shabbat dinners and the plans, and it's the people you're every single day with. So they become your family.
Okay.
And it's
Okay. So you two are brothers a little bit by now, would you
we're
say?
starting.
Pretty
It's
much,
getting
yeah.
Just the good and bad of it. Yeah. No, that's awesome. Okay. So would you say there are big differences that you've noticed or like things you're surprised about when moving here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The size of apartments to start doing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And well, this is a very pet friendly city, dogs all over the place. I cannot understand how dogs are in these
Right.
apartments, but
Right. Right.
Yeah, to me, I think it was. I changed a little bit my diet. For instance, in Argentina, I used to eat a lot of red meat.
Okay.
A lot of red meat, and here I had to adapt. All
Okay.
right, but I think it was better. In a way, I just discover new things. And also Tel Aviv is a city with a lot of vegetarian and vegan options. So I started to try a little more thanks to some friends. So it was something good for me.
Okay. You're not vegan, are you?
No, no, I'm still a
Okay.
carnivore.
A carnivore.
Oh.
Okay. A carnivore who eats vegan from time to time. Got it. Yeah.
they will kill him at
Yeah,
home.
yeah. It's
Right.
my essence. I cannot
You still have
help
to
it.
go back and visit. So
Yeah.
yeah, right. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, so both of you ultimately came to Tel Aviv to join the Global MBA program here at Tel Aviv University. So, what inspired you to apply and to come here?
Whoa, that's wide. I would say there's a in my case, there was a bunch of reasons. In Argentina, my upbringing was always tied to the state of Israel, right? To come here and also to have the experience to live in Israel. I been here with Taglit 10 years ago, and first I had a taste of Israel and I loved it, but I always had this craving for coming here. And at the same time, I knew that Israel was a powerhouse in everything related to startups, innovation, venture creation. And I was at a point in my career when I wanted to try something new and also to see if I had the tools to create something on my own. So that was one of the main drivers.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it was really the next step in your personal but also professional journey. You wanted to come
exactly.
here. Okay,
Exactly.
okay,
So in my case, my father was born in Israel, in Farsaba. When he was like 6 years old, they went to Mexico and started a life there. It's a beautiful community, but we were raised with profound Zionist feelings. And I was also here like 10 years ago for the 4 month program in Israel, and I decided I needed to come back here to live. And last year I got married with
okay.
Michelle. She's also doing a program in here, but we decided we needed to come here, and we're starting, and we're doing this. We're living this experience together, and it's been wonderful.
Okay, okay. So did you talk with your wife for a while before deciding to come here, or was it just sort of like a, hey, why don't we try it and
Yeah, we're
let's do
starting to
it?
thinking about what type of MBA and program we wanted, and then we say, no, 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 wait, we're going to Tel Aviv, and then we'll decide what
Okay,
we're going to do.
okay.
So
So it was a place, and then the realization, yeah, this is the right program that came after.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. So tell me a little bit. You're very fresh graduates of the Global MBA program. So hopefully it's all fresh in your mind right now. So tell me a little bit about your experience in the program. What was it like?
Wow. Where
Yeah,
to
yeah.
start? Where to start? I think how can I define this? We were like 35 people from all over the world. I think more than 15 countries. So of course in the beginning when the program starts, you're just analyzing everyone like, oh, this person is from this country, this person has maybe this kind of stereotypes, some things that just pop up in your mind. And in the end, what ends up happening is that you see that people are really similar to each other. And like Joe said, we just form our family here, and the family also includes our friends, right? Our friends, and we just also meet with them like regularly right now. It's not that the program just ended and we said okay, we just part ways. Not at all. We're just doing plans, seeing what's up next, seeing if with exchange programs and some are doing, we're meeting in say the US, for instance. So I think that in the end, it was really rewarding on a personal and also on a professional level, right?
Yeah, yeah, I would say it's a tough question because we're still very emotional about what
Yeah.
happened, and we're still like very fresh. And the program was so intense, and it was like every day, everyone in the same class, same lectures. So we really became a family, and it was also very fast. When you're all you have assignments and projects and you need to deliver, and then suddenly you finish and it's wow, the time fly.
Right, right. You can't
And
even
It's
believe it's
gone.
over yet.
yeah,
It's
we
gone.
cannot.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it sounds like the people were really a big part of it,
Yeah.
and part of it was that you were together all day long, and so from my understanding, it's really people from around the world in the program too. So, can you tell me some of the countries? So we have Argentina, we have Mexico.
Yeah, we
What other?
have Brazil, Ecuador, from the States, also from Israel, from Germany, Hungary, China, India.
Okay,
Yeah.
Uh,
France as well. I don't know if you
yeah,
said. Uh, yeah.
okay,
all over.
All over.
And I think that mixture was what made us really learn in this program and understand these different worlds that weren't behind of us, and that to open our mind to different cultures and different ways of thinking, of tackling uh, problems, of solving. So
Yeah. Or I
yeah,
don't
I think
know.
that's where the real learning experience came
okay,
from me.
okay.
Yeah, and also how are the ways of working from people, right? Because my way of saying I'm doing this assignment is not the same as someone from another country, right? And also the notion of time. Let's say, okay, we're meeting a whole day. What's the whole day for you? Maybe 3 hours or maybe 10 hours. Is that Latin American or is that more European? So the thing is, that enriches you a lot, right? Because you learn also how to talk to those people and how to get along with them.
Okay, okay. So was there a lot of group work projects then where
A
you
lot,
were working with
all the
people from
time.
A
all the
lot.
time? Okay.
Yeah.
So you really found too that you were coming from different cultural backgrounds and business backgrounds, and that was interesting to see
Yeah.
how different people
Yeah,
approach things.
completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, also something very good from the MBA is that people come from completely different backgrounds. You know, you have people from marketing, from business, from finance, and
Yeah.
then it all starts mixing. Also, lawyers, you know, whatever you can have. So
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, the perspectives are like really different. Like he was saying, you have a lawyer and you have someone who was working in corporate finance. Maybe their approaches are different, but they might be complementary in a way, and you would never think that before. So, yeah, that's really interesting.
Okay. Okay. So I feel like probably there's a particular business culture in Argentina and Mexico, but you're here really learning about Israeli business culture. So, what are some of the key things you learned about business here, and maybe how it's different from business back home?
well, not only learn, but we kind of experience the ecosystem and everything that's happening here so quick, so fast, such like a continuous creation of ideas that become startups that start flying and going all over the place, tackling these
Yeah.
really difficult tasks and questions in the world. And the whole ecosystem fuels you to go there and to try and to fail and to go, and and it's
Yeah.
rewarding.
No, no, I agree. I think it's that people always say about the straightforwardness of Israelis, and that's also true for the startup ecosystem or for the venture ecosystem. Like same as in the street, if you ask someone, "Hey, can I meet you? I don't know, half an hour to tell you my idea." So yes, right away. Let's meet. Let's have a coffee. Maybe in our cultures that can happen, but it's a little more ambiguous. It's like, oh no, I cannot now. Here it's like the extreme. It's like, yes, let's do it, let's meet, let's see how it goes. And like Joe was saying, it fuels you. It just I don't know, can I tell like a little anecdote?
Sure, of
I
course,
think
of
it was
course.
funny because it happened just 2 days ago. We went to this shawarma place. Do you remember?
Mm.
It was the shawarma place that people were working super fast, that they were like just putting your things all together, and there was a line and the line was moving fast. We sat down and we started eating, and we just realized like 5 minutes later we were eating super fast.
Yes, because
Like,
the
yeah,
guys were
yeah, the
screaming,
atmosphere
"Hey, what do you want?
yeah,
Who's
exactly,
Right.
compelled you. And it's kind of, in an analogy, it's kind of the same. You're like, when you just realize you have done so much so fast, and then you just realize, okay, maybe this is the magic everyone was talking about. It's the bustling ecosystem that's going
Right,
around.
right, right. So everyone's a little bit more energized and everything just goes a bit more quickly here. Okay. So the way you're talking in the back of my mind, I know that you continued on here. You're not back in Argentina and Mexico, and you've actually decided to work together to launch your own startup, Camino. So I might get you to begin by telling me a little bit about the inspiration behind that. Like, at what point where you're like, okay, let's do it. We're going to continue on here and we're going to launch a startup.
Well, I think the spark started right from the beginning when we started figuring out and pivoting on this idea that well, in general, we want to solve a real pain we believe for both sides of the same market. One will be little shop or shop owners that are mostly burned online, uh, and we feel these shop owners want to experience a physical presence once in a while, not forever, and don't want to commit, but they need to have a certain level of revenue. And we want to provide a collective, a collaborative solution for them to be able to have this presence and on the same time connecting them with a really challenging retail sector that we're seeing all over the world, also in Israel, in the States mainly. And well, I think we will go deeper in the idea now, but since we started having that conversation, everything started to go so quickly. We use it for a class project, and then we started speaking with mentors and validating the idea with our professors, with a lot of resources that we had around here. And yeah, I think it's been so fast that we cannot even understand what's happening, but we need to go in the shawarma way,
Right.
like,
Okay.
Yeah.
You're making that pita and the shawarma right now,
yeah,
and you're just
Yeah.
putting it all together. Um, so it sounds like it really did start with you had an idea in terms of there was this gap. A lot of retailers are online, and people still like to see things in person. And so you kind of had that in the back of your mind. And
Mhm.
then how did you end up working together on the idea?
ah,
I think that the story is funny. We worked together in some projects in the MBA, but I think that the story where he presented the idea to me, that was the
yeah,
thing.
we were actually in a building
Close to
right
here.
here.
Yeah, in the social sciences library. We're just sitting down doing something, and he told me, Facu, I had this idea. I have been thinking of this a lot because I have been like walking up the street and seeing these retail estate places vacant, and I cannot help seeing that. He told me because of his real estate background.
An unused
Imagine.
asset, a non-productive asset, just
Yeah, he it blew his mind. He was
Right.
like really
Okay.
unsettled. And he told me, "Fuck,
Okay.
we have this idea." And I remember I listened to it and I said, "Wow, this looks really interesting." Because also apart from my background, in Argentina, my family has a real estate business as well, so I could relate. I could empathize quite quickly. So I think that's when it started. Of course, when we were at the MBA, we couldn't be at full throttle. Because of the time that we have. So it's now that we're really like going full mode, I would say, go full shawarma mode if you want to call it
Okay,
like
full
that.
shawarma mode.
Yeah.
Okay, so part of it too then was these real estate buildings that are sitting empty, and it's like, how is this happening? And we have a need for retailers to be in
Yeah.
these spaces. So maybe I'll get you to just explain a bit more clearly what Camino is exactly. From my understanding, you have talked about it a bit, but it's kind of like a bazaar in a way where you're bringing online retailers into a particular space for a while, and people can walk in and engage with their products. So yeah, so maybe talk about that a bit more.
I think in terms of the concept, like Joe was saying, it's a creator of community spaces for retailers that are in need to have like offline engagements, physical engagements with the customers, especially for those shops that have those kind of products that are more tangible and require a more concrete experience. Difference with, let's say, a pop-up shop, people could say, is this local and community flavor that people can leverage from each other, but not only the part of the selling itself, but also we offer to propel them in terms of the engagement and social media so they can also increase their level. It's not just, okay, we just offer like a physical place for you, but we just go a little beyond that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So it's partly about the community building between companies as well. Like you mentioned, not a pop-up shop because you have a bunch of companies in the same space together and they're kind of
Mhm.
engaging with each other and helping each other out. And
Exactly. It's a combination of the idea that we all know and it's very successful of, like, let's say, Friday bazaars, to connect it with empty vacant retail real estate and create these like collective hubs or boutiques for different shop. Like, these shops are many times like a solo rider enterprise or
Yeah.
someone that creates and loves their things, and the idea is to put them together, to put them to work, and to give them this space to really talk and engage
hmm
in
There's,
the scene.
I think there's something important that we haven't mentioned yet, but there's also another part of this idea of Camino that is working with us from the very beginning. We're working with Meitara, who's also a designer. She's in her final project in Shankar Design College. So that's also the part that maybe we just needed to have this, let's say, engagement, I would say, more into the idea. Why I'm saying this? Because we have this background and we are into real estate and e-commerce and we are more operational, but we were aware that we needed this part of design into it. Be interior, external design, UX, UI. So of course, apart from Meitar, there's also other people that we are consulting, but we three are the ones that are meeting and like cranking out the ideas, and we're trying to complement each other, right?
okay, okay. So you're really thinking about the design of the space right now too, and sort of
Exactly.
Yes.
engagement and how.
No, and also this, the design of the platform, on the user experience, and how the little challenges will be solved out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would say now we're in a tough stage that it's like to actually validate and to try out and to pilot the project, because we were a couple of weeks ago in a stage that we all only pitched, and it's very like
Chloe.
exciting, and
The
you're
big idea
and you
and
go
yeah,
Yeah.
from
yeah.
appointment to appointment, coffee to coffee, mentor to mentor, and you're all happy. But then when you really need to go there and validate and
Okay.
Yeah.
start the struggle, it gets interesting. It
Right.
gets
So you're
Yeah.
in
very
the
interesting.
validation phase right
Yeah.
now. So what does that involve exactly?
I mean, maybe it involves to be a little more down to earth.
Okay.
Yeah, because of course, when you start, you can be a lot more romantic in your idea.
Mhm.
Well, we're going to help everyone, and we're going to do it like this, and zero hassle, zero risk, and in this way, and we're going to be like maybe more novel in our approach. And then you start validating with, let's say, both landlords and shop owners, and they tell you, no, this is not possible. I don't want this. Why would you do this? So you start refining and tweaking the idea a little bit to make it more feasible, right? But something that we always discuss with Joe is that it has to be feasible, but it also has to deliver value. That's the most important part, that it delivers actual value, new value to the ecosystem.
Yeah, and it involves a lot of footwork and speaking to people and really getting their insights, and if there is really a pain and a need for this, and how could we collaborate together. And I think something related also to to the ecosystem, we are in a spot that we know that this can lead to a dead end, or could, like, if we couldn't execute it properly, or if it
Yeah.
doesn't deliver value as we think it should, we are open to that, and we're open to the failure in a sense. But we believe that openness is part of the success
Sure.
path,
Yeah,
because you
yeah.
Yeah.
can have several ups and downs. And
What I find kind of cool is that the company's named Camino, and Camino means like road and journey. And so it's cool that you're kind of on your own journey with it
yeah,
too at
yeah,
the
yeah.
Mhm.
same time.
The idea is that Camino, it's all has like a going forward, its pathway, its journey, as you said, and we wanted to evoke the journey for a shop owner to go from online to offline, or to have this physical presence, and it's an extremely painful journey.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
that's where the idea came from. But
Okay.
yeah, we're also in our Camino, and we
Yeah,
hope.
yeah, you're right. I think it also reflects our personal journey, so
Yeah,
that's also
yeah.
nice. Yeah.
What are some of the things you're hearing during validation? Are you hearing good things?
Yeah, yeah, we're hearing a lot of enthusiasm from part of shop owners, and some landlords are also hopping in, and it's very nice to see all these going forward. And I would say that there is something really interesting, that we see the major real estate industries that have been reinvented in the last, I would say, 10 years. Like, we know the hospitality has changed, the way the
Mhm.
offices are, it's changed, but retail itself is still suffering and needing this reinvention. And I think this is the way it will go.
Yeah.
It will go for the future, and the scalability and the way it can be turned on could be amazing.
What I find cool, when you think about retail, and you're right, like it's suffering post COVID as well too. There was that period where we were all at home, and especially like physical spaces were suffering, and it's going through this sort of existential moment. But when you think about a bazaar, we've had them for thousands of years, right? So there's got to be something to being at a place in person where you can see objects and you can engage in shopping and consumerism sort of in a physical sort of space. So I don't think it's going away. I think what you're doing is very, very cool. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's reinventing in a way, because the thing with this online, let's call it in this case online retailers, all right, for this example, they might have, I don't know, 50K followers on Instagram. They might be like a powerhouse with their website. They might be shipping anywhere. But when you step into the let's say the real world, call it what we call make it real, that's a different story. And you have to step into like a lot of commitments that you have to do, call it financial, operational. So when we pitch this idea to shop owners, they're delighted because they're like, oh, but can you guys do that? Like, can you guys like give me a space and just make me grow? Yes, and also something really important is that this idea for them is not a matter of life and death. Why I'm saying this, it's not that you're just transitioning from online to offline forever. It's another way, it's another channel, and that's what Joe was saying. We're just trying to create a new avenue for them to expand and also to interact with customers, which is the most important thing for them, the customer engagement.
Okay. Okay. So was it very natural to begin validation and begin launching it in Tel Aviv over any other place in the world?
Yes, I would say we picked Tel Aviv, obviously, because we're here, and a lot of the resources we got from the program are here, and the mentorship and the connections. But we also think for the value of this little market, that it's away from everything, that you can really prove or try to prove something, and then to extrapolate it to bigger markets, and to go through Latin America or the States to create it. This is, a I would say, a perfect place to validate and to
Mm.
pilot.
Okay. Okay. So what's your dream? Or I shouldn't call it a dream. Maybe you have a 5-year plan that you're working on, but 5 years from now, everything goes right. What would you like Camino to be?
I
Y-
think anywhere.
uh,
I think anywhere if we are like true, but I mean, of course we would like to try it in our hometowns. I think both Mexico City and Buenos Aires have a very strong retail, like local retail culture, and this is something that could really work, especially in in this kind of vibrant economies, right, where people are really eager to maybe take a small risk and to jump in. But I would say geographically, that's a dream that we have.
yeah, yeah, and I would say that if we're able to pull this off, because also when there's a platform, you need to grow both sides at the same time, and it becomes tricky. And if we get to scale it on a way that
Mhm.
it can start growing by itself from both sides, and we can have several locations in dozens of cities in the world, we really think we can create an additional way of people doing business locally, and can really empower the local shop
Mhm.
owner, that can really grow and understand, and to position itself in different positions in the city, and to try different things and to try different products and
Yeah.
to encourage this type of retail. And I know we're going in some sense on a contra trend, because the trend is going from offline to online, and online it's experiencing growth. But also, everyday shoppers are eager for an experience, and when you know what you want to buy, you know where to go. But sometimes you just want to go, and it's good for like hope to see things, to engage yourself, and to live this experience.
Okay. Well, I think it's very, very cool. Joseph, Facundo, I want to thank you very much for being here. I wish you luck with Camino. Please send me an email when you launch, and I
Yeah,
definitely want to
sure.
check it out and do a little bit of shopping. And yeah, good luck with everything.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for inviting us to engage in this
It was
conversation.
lovely.
We really enjoyed it.
It's my pleasure.